Hi guys, good morning. Welcome to another episode of Clangin and Bangin with Mikey, episode 70. First things first, man. Happy Easter to everybody out there, bro. I hope you're spending it with friends and family and people who love you. Yeah, because life is too short for anything else. Today we're gonna talk about, man, knowing when to leave the situation, knowing when to leave the job, the friendship, the relationship, whatever it is. And also, another thing that I'm gonna hit on too is like take the lessons that this other person taught you or tried to teach you and apply them to somebody else. Um, I was just talking to this girl that I know, and we was chopping it up, and she said, well, like she says, she's like, well, sometimes I say things out of anger too, then I gotta apologize for it too, and I go, well, you gotta realize, are you being triggered because you're insecure, or are you being triggered because you're being disrespected? Because if you're being triggered because you're insecure, that's a you problem. But if you're being triggered because you think you're being disrespected, that's a conversation for you and dude to have, right? So me and her were talking through the DMs and everything, and I said, yo, at the end of the day, this guy wants to be around you. He wants to get to know you. So don't shut him out, or think that something bad's gonna happen, just because all the other shit in your past happened to you before. So it's like you can't do that. And she's asking me like, "Oh, are you dating this and this and that?" I was like, "Nah, right now, no, I'm not." As you guys know, my situation. Those who watch the podcast know. Yeah, man. I'm taking this time to self-reflect. I'm taking this time to actually reevaluate my goals and everything too. Uh, Matter of fact, I wrote something down months ago. See if I still have it. I probably have it somewhere. Yeah, I do have it. Um, since we're on the topic of uh letting things go and I wrote this pros and cons list for my homegirl. Pros was she was a great friend, thoughtful conversations, deep conversations. Taught me how to be fluid, made me feel safe about dropping my walls, and that's a big thing for me, man. I'm working on being vulnerable because, like most men, like niggas ain't vulnerable. It's like, as you guys can see behind me, bruh, like this is what I do. I make music, I work out, and I go to work, and I read. Man, I don't really do much else, bro. Anyway, pros. I also wrote, like this was done back in I think back in January, because I already knew I was gonna leave the situation. I knew that. You're single. This is talking about me. Act like such. You know. Uh, and the pros about it too is like she made some bomb ass desserts. She made some great fucking desserts, and she was a dope soul. And um, the cons was extremely long on this list. That's why I decided to walk away from the situation. Um, Cons. You love her, but she doesn't feel the same way about you, and that was factual. Makes time for everybody except you. Factual. Doesn't like labels, makes you feel that this may lead somewhere when it's not. Factual. Trust issues. Factual. Doesn't know what she wants. Factual. Feel like an option rather than a priority. Unwilling to trust herself, but she expects you to trust her. Factual. Stuck in the friend zone, safety net, i.e., me. Wasn't going to go anywhere. The guy she needs, but not the guy she wants. Factual. Wants to be vulnerable with you, but can't. And this just hints off what I said earlier. She doesn't like you like that. She likes the fact that you think that she's like, that she's got you, aka safety net. It's simple. walk away. Wish her well. I hope you find what you're looking for, but I can't be that dude. I deserve somebody who who can give me her all, not just her availability. Ooh. Uh, and this is something I wrote to her that I never really got the chance to say to her. And maybe I should call her up and tell her that. Like, I wrote a pros and cons list, back in January, so I knew I was gonna lead this situation. And yeah, man, making a pros and cons list, dog, it helps you with a lot of shit. Helps you just put things into perspective, man, and it helps you just, focus on your goals. And I said to her in this letter, I said, you let me in, which I'm grateful for. You taught me that I deserve, but you also taught me that I deserve better. I fell in love with you, and you let me in while you just wanted friendship. I made this list for clarity for something I knew I had to do. It pains me to do this, but this is where I leave you. It's gonna hurt to leave this, but it's death if I stay. I'm more than just a safety net. I was that dude who would have, gave you the world if you all you had to do was let me. This is where I exit stage left. I don't hate you. It's all love on my end. I truly hope that you find happiness, but I can't be that safety net for you nor to you. Yeah, and so I knew that this list was true because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lists some pros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 for cons. Patterns don't lie. And you have to be man enough to walk away from the situation and realize that, man. And so yeah, I think at the end of the day, a lot of people will sabotage their own shit just because it's not what they're used to is chaotic. What they're used to is people not people arguing with them or whatever it is, or people acting like children. It's like, nah. It's like at the end of the day, you are what you tolerate, and that's the case, man. A lot of people will sit there and be in relationships or friendships where they're not even tolerated. They're they're just there, And the one thing with me and her, man, is like I never once made her feel inadequate, in any sense of the word. But towards the end, man, like we just got toxic. And I knew I had to leave the situation. And I remember she telling me like, "Oh well, I guess we're still friends because communication hasn't stopped." And I said, "The communication hasn't stopped because neither one of us wanted to stop." And that's what it is. And I told her my intentions for you is to be more than just your friend. And she knew that, and I knew that. But I also knew that that she's in a relationship, but with a dude I don't really like, and it has nothing to do with my feelings or anything like that. I just know that this motherfucker, he's not the dude who he says he is, because and this is not me being emotional or anything. It's like this is me coming from a dude's point of view. It's like, yeah, homeboy doesn't do that unless he's doing something else. I mean, I've been that nigga who's had girls on rotation, who's had girls on schedules. I've been that cat. It sucks because you end up fucking over a lot of good people simply because you don't give a fuck. And I've seen it happen to other people that I know too. And I simply tell them like, yo, like nobody who does that, whether it's hanging out with you one day a week or hanging out with your friends and not telling you what they doing, or telling you that that they're one place but they're actually in another spot. And it's like, and my thing is like, bro, if you got to share location with a motherfucker, then it's like, other than your children, it's like you don't trust these people, do you? I mean, it's like I've known people who's like their husband got to share their location with their wives, because it's like, nigga, I can't really blame them, because it's like you out there sticking your dick in something that's not your wife. You know what I mean? So it's like, at the end of the day, bro, it's like, if you got to do all that, man, it's like you should just leave the situation. Um, and getting back to that girl who I was telling y'all about in the beginning, yeah, I just told her like, yo, I'm taking this time to focus on myself and focus on my goals and focus on what I want to do. Um, I'm not gonna put somebody, in front of me who doesn't value me the same way that I value them. So at the end of the day, it's all about knowing your self worth, but it's also knowing that you deserve better than what you're getting. You know, you deserve better than that. And this pros and cons list, man, like I said, like you make a list and you gotta go off what the list says. Because like I said, it's like that's where your thoughts are the most clear. When you're writing them down. That's why when people write in their journals, especially writers or rappers and musicians, when you're writing down your thoughts to a beat, because I do it too. That's when you get the most clarity because you're actually sitting there and being honest with yourself about the situation. You're not sitting there bullshitting yourself. Oh yeah, I think it's this, I think it's that. Like no, once you write it down, whether it's a pros list on the pro side or the con side, nigga, it doesn't lie. Patterns don't lie. So at the end of the day, I'm always love this girl, no doubt. Uh, she's always gonna have my heart. But like I told her, 2 weeks ago, when I sent her that final voice message, I was like, yo, this is the last time you're gonna hear from me, and I meant that. I ain't talked to her since. You know what I mean? Yeah, and I think at the end of the day, she knew it and I knew it. So, but she was never gonna end communication because she loved the nigga, but she didn't love me this. She didn't love me the same way I loved her. And in that term, in that and in that time, you just gotta walk away, man, and you gotta keep working on yourself. Take the lessons that people tried to teach you and work on yourself. Anyway, man, y'all have a great Easter Sunday. Hope y'all keep it in full peace. Private player positive pushing. And my Bulls play today, man. So, yeah. Anyway, y'all have a great Sunday. See y'all next week. Ghost, love y'all.